on Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff, right?
We everywhere. We live now.
Kind of,
countdown didn't work, but we live now.
kind of.
Shalom, Lord Christ.
Hey, shalom, Lord Christ. Okay, Bunga, I don't know what that was, but let me know which live stream you want me to add to you. Add to it. You got two of them out here.
I was gonna add the other one.
So add the other one and cut this one off.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Most High Christ, can everybody hear me?
Kind of, sir.
That's this one.
Come on.
Go ahead and get rid of this one. Can you remove yourself, or you need me to kick you out?
Salakia.
Talking to Bungad.
Come.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep, because if it's two of them, it's gonna start that echo thing.
No, it's because I had the volume all the way up on my phone. I didn't have it muted. I was trying to see which one would work best for me.
Well, we about to rock, man. What's going on, Israel, man? What's going on, man? This is a Moment of Truth podcast, man. You understand? This is the new podcast that I got with a bunch of mighty men. I'll take the floor last, man. Let's go ahead, go rank order, and y'all introduce yourselves, man.
Khan.
Bungad, I said rank order. It's on you.
Oh, you didn't introduce yourself, all the one.
Now, I'm gonna go last.
Oh, okay. Officer of 1,000, Madara out of Indianapolis, Indiana. That's about it.
That's it. That's all you got to say.
That's all that's needed, you know.
I can dig it.
Khan. I'm preaching officer 500 Kawam Ipar. I started off in Indianapolis 2 Passovers ago, and what brought me to the truth, you know what I'm saying? I've been knowing about the truth since I was 15, you know what I'm saying? And I always wanted to get in the truth, but I was never ready spiritually, you know what I'm saying? And then about 2 years ago, I hit rock bottom, and I only knew one place to call. You know what I'm saying? I knew one place to call that would change my life, and that was the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, man. I knew something had to change. You know what I'm saying? So I called the school, you know what I'm saying? And I remember I talking to Officer Tarot, man. I met him, and he was like, man, I told him if I would do anything, I would get in the truth before I died. And he told me, man, you ain't gonna die today, man. And then ever since then, I've been down with this truth. Now I'm in ISUBK, Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? Waking up the dead, putting in this brick, and this is what it's all about, man. Building up Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. This is the last safe haven for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. It's the only way out this captivity, man. You understand? We done tried everything. Now let's try serving the Lord, following the Most High, man, and keeping the law, statute, commandment. And it's going to be a hell of a road, hell of a fight, man, but you got to fight them demons, man. Do it for your nation, man. You understand? Do it for Christ. That shit out of one.
Yeah, I'm right, mighty man. That was hardcore right there.
Okay.
Yeah, damn right. I ain't gonna say that much, but Most High Christ. I'm precinct officer 500 Quatazar out of Columbus, Ohio, 614 in the building. I've been in truth for about 2 years. I have 2 older brothers, fortunate enough, that are in the truth as well. They're down in Fayetteville, North Carolina, holding it down. That's it for me.
So, like, if I could too.
Damn right. Go ahead.
If we can get them views up, if brothers can share the page so we get them views up on your personal Facebook.
Damn right. You definitely gonna want to share this, man. Y'all got any questions or comments? Type them in. This is the show for the people, man.
Damn right.
That's what we've been trained to do. We've been trained to be here for the people. People in the world, people in the truth. Y'all got any questions? Type them in. That's what we're here for.
Right.
Go ahead, Quatazar. Was you finished? I know Kumpar, hopped in. Was you done, mighty man?
Oh, yeah. That was it. I'm Tawad, Salaki.
Most sounds great.
Shalom Israel. I'm Preaching Officer 50 Azar Arya Shinya. 17 years old. And, as far as my origin stories, other brothers before me coming into this truth and everything, like, coming into this truth, it was more of like, somebody let me know, like, this is a black organization. We are black owned, we support black communities and we support the black business. We stand
All
for,
right.
black people. We help the black community. We do everything we can for ourselves. Feel me? We ain't trying to, congregate with these other nations and everything. We trying to help ourselves out. And being at such a young age, like I found out about this when I was a believe. When we first found out about this? I think it was back in like dang near.
I have no
I
idea.
can't even tell you to be honest. I remember I was young though. I was dang near maybe about like 14 when I first found out about this. And like once I found out about it, like I was, 10 toes down for it, man. There was nowhere else I wanted to be besides this place. Because every other nation, man, even from a young age, I've always seen, had the upper hand above us. We was always the one struggling. But, now that I got this opportunity to be in this stuff, especially with my father alongside me, like I can't be beat at this point, man. I got a long road ahead of me, but it's definitely gonna be a mighty one.
That's right.
That's right. What's going on, Israel? I'm priest and officer of 5,000 Azar Uriah, and I'm at a Naptown camp under Captain Kapash. And I couldn't listen. I can't tell you when I came into the truth. It's all a blur for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how long I've been in this thing. Only thing I can tell you is that I'm in this for the rest of my life, and I ain't going nowhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I couldn't imagine my life without this truth. I'd have been dead if it wasn't for this truth. I know that for a fact. I was heading down that road, man. So, for brothers and sisters watching, please like and share this, man. Yeah, this is like I said, a platform for other brothers and sisters as well. Reach out, man. That's what we're here for. To make sure that you understand that this truth right here will save your life. It's gonna change everything about your life and save it, man. This ain't the Christian church. If you want to feel good, stay in the Christian church. If you want to be good, come into the ISUPK under Commander Junior Hunter, man.
That's
And
right.
that's about all I got to say, man. Now we about to get into it. Like I said, we're gonna do things a little differently with this show, man. You know what I'm saying? I know Barngad has some stories he wanted to bring out, but before we get to them stories, man, it was something that Quatazar was speaking on earlier, man, that had me dying, man, and I wanted to address that, if you would, Quatazar.
Oh yeah, no sweat. A little challenge. I was a TikTok challenge, or I seen it on. Yeah, I think it was TikTok or Instagram. But basically, you got your older demographic getting into TikTok now. You know what I'm saying? So I watched this woman walk into her son's room and was like, "Yo, I got into it with this lady, and she said she has a son. I'm about to go out here and fight her, and I need you to fight her son." And so the dude's like, "Wait, what? What's wrong with you?" Taking her completely serious. Of course, she was joking. But he goes to breaking it down for himself. He's like, "Mom, I'm not fighting anybody. I'm just a depressed kid." And I'm looking around at the room, and dude had everything. I'm like, his room looked bigger than my apartment. So I'm like, "What you depressed about?" But no, it was just one of those little challenges I thought was funny because your parent coming there and telling you that they about to get into a fight and they want you to come help. I'm just like, but it was just one of those isolated ones it was for me. He was like, he's just a depressed kid. I wasn't expecting to hear that.
Hey, man, that is so funny. Can you imagine? Can you imagine having everything that you wanted, and you talk about you just a depressed kid? You're just depressed, and you don't want no problems with the world. I had said this a while ago, man. I'll say it again. Like before, like growing up, right? I never knew I was poor. The only
Right.
reason I knew I was poor was because the other kids told me how poor I was. Like I never knew I was poor. I didn't know nothing about being poor, and I damn sure didn't know nothing about being depressed. You get what I'm saying? I was just a little kid enjoying life, and now this little nigga, like when you tell me that story, that little kid, this you talking about? I'm just a depressed kid. You said his bedroom was bigger than my apartment. Like that goes to show you that, like these kids nowadays in the world, like they have all these, like they have everything that they need, and they still don't get a concept of what life is really about, man. That's
All
why
right.
UPK is so important because we teach our kids at a young age life is about warfare. You get what I'm saying? Life is about warfare. We don't have time to be depressed. You know, like we had war. Who the hell has time to be depressed? Black kids don't get depressed.
Right.
But that goes to show you the spirit between us and the oppressor for sure. That's why, little white kids go shoot up schools because that little devil right there. My mom wanted me to fight. I'll show her how I really fight. Next thing you know, he AR in the whole school now.
Right. It's
Yeah,
like
that's all I
if
had
I
to say.
could,
Yeah, damn right.
and that's heavy because we don't teach our children to fight. You know what I'm saying? We teach our children to bow down. You know what I'm saying? Because a gift destroyed the heart. We do everything that what I'm saying. We don't teach our kids that. We teach our children to forgive the oppressor, to turn the other cheek. We don't train them up for war, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna continue in this captivity and continue getting oppressed if we don't train up our child, man, like the way the Lord say to. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's definitely a heavy point. Now, like the thing about training up our kids is that like we train them that hate themselves and hate each other.
Right.
But we definitely don't train them to look at anybody else as an opposition. We
Mm.
teach our kids that when it comes to the Chinese man kids and the white man kids and all these other nation kids, we teach them that you're equal with them.
Right.
You're equal with them. Yeah, little Billy. Yeah, that's your friend Billy. You and him are the same. That's what the hell we teach our kids. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? But the fact of the matter is, like, this is why our nation is going to continue to be wiped out because we're not doing what the Lord said to do. The Lord didn't say nothing about us being equal with these people. The
Right.
Lord wants us to rule over these people. He said if we follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, that we will be above these people, man. And
Right.
and that goes to show you the spirit. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I know you like where the hell is you going? How did you get this out of the TikTok challenge? Because these parents on this TikTok challenge, man, like look at the generation we living in. These parents want to be more famous than the goddamn kids now.
Right.
Like
Right.
these parents got accounts. Like these mothers, they fans only pages got shut down. They got to keep that Facebook check rolling in.
Right.
So now they doing anything to be in social media, and this is what they choose to do, as opposed to try to do something that's really going to benefit they kids. They teach.
Right.
And my thing is this: you should know what the hell your child is going to do. You raise your child up. If your child is a coward, guess what? Guess why your child is a coward? Because you instilled fear in them.
Right.
You instilled that fear in them. He watched you be a coward, and he mimicked them exact same things, man. He mimicked them same traits. That's all I have to say.
Right.
That's right.
That's heavy out of one. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have no protection in the black community, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what's going but over here, like, man, we got women getting shot down. We got people getting shot down on a goddamn porch over welfare checks, man. 11 a.m. in the morning, man. Like we are so destroyed, man. You know what I'm saying? I know my children are going to be well because I definitely going to, I monitor everything they do, man. I'm on their head. You know what I'm saying? And you got to do that, man. Because if not, man, then, we are at war here, man. So even the cartoons they watch, man, is out there, you know what I'm saying, trying to, like, how can I say it? It's aiming at your children, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything, every day about life, man, is a war tactic towards your children, man. With the TV, with the cereal, every goddamn thing, man. You know what I'm saying? We need to understand that we are at war here and that the Lord gave us an enemy, man. You know what I'm saying? That these are not our brother. These are not our neighbors, man. When it was talking about that neighbor, it wasn't talking about the oppressor, man. That's one thing we need to really finally wake up and see that we got enemies, man. The Lord got enemies, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right, and that's heavy what you brought out too about monitoring, what your kids do, because we have got out of that spirit in the black community. What's the proof of that? These goddamn 5-year-olds have TikTok accounts.
Right.
These
Right.
these parents are pimping out their kids for Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. I seen some. You know how you be strolling through Facebook and certain videos will pop up. I seen a video of talking about like some of the most successful YouTubers on the face of the planet, and it was like a little 11-year-old devil. This devil making 26 million a year off of YouTube. I can't remember the little devil name, but the first thing that popped in my mind is, how is this little devil kid making $27 million a year off of YouTube? He ain't even old enough to work. How's he?
Right.
How the hell is he making $27 million? You get what I'm saying? Listen, they are definitely living the American dream here. And the thing is this: if I seen that video, the same people that be doing these challenges and shit like this on Twitter, excuse my language, on Twitter and stuff, they see that stuff too, and they like, well, if this little dude can make 26 million, I know I'm a shoe in for 3 million.
Right. And Salaki out of one. That's where they're getting all the money from. It's from the children because these kids stay on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? They stay on YouTube, man. I got to get on my children's heads all the time, man, about damn YouTube. And the thing about YouTube, man, you can just look over and see a naked woman or some homosexuality, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Facebook, man. And the thing about it, man, I remember somebody said, why wasn't they able to see prevent the mass shooter when he posted all the stuff on Facebook? You know why? Because they too busy flagging the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge for petty stuff, man.
Right.
You understand? If you was looking really doing your goddamn job, man, you know what I'm saying, you will be able to prevent these goddamn mass shootings, man. But you too busy worried about us waking up blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. And that's a problem. That's the problem.
And if I could, to piggyback off of what you said, like, here's the funny part. The algorithm, however you say it, y'all know what I'm trying to say. I grew up in a country family. The algorithm, the numbers game.
Right.
The algorithm?
Yeah, say it again for me.
The algorithm?
Yeah, that part, right? That's made up so you can promote the homosexuality. And like in school, and people that's saying anything that's deemed as racist, which is pretty much everything that comes out that press your mouth. You get what I'm saying? Like that flies right under the radar. Like nobody cares about that stuff. That stuff is able to keep in circulation and is what's the word I'm looking for? It's targeted towards a certain demographic. So it's not going to come across our radar like that because they know that we against stuff like that. But for the people in them little white supremacist groups that's real heavy, they seeing that stuff and they're not going to tell on it. They're not going to tell on it. That's not going to get flagged because the reason our videos is getting flagged is because somebody somewhere says, no, I don't like it. Boop, and presses the button. You know what I'm saying? It's like Karen, like they Karen us on social media. You know how in real life Karen call the police when they see black people barbecuing or little black girls selling waters to pay for a Disney trip, like that call the police. Well, that's what they do on social media now with our SUPK for us our videos. We say anything that they might deem as offensive. You get what I'm saying? Like they gonna flag the video. They tried to do me like that. I was like, man, I only love black people. They tried to flag my video. I'm like, what did I say? I only said I love black people. I guess they tried to flag it because I didn't say everybody. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what we dealing with. That's why that devil is able to go places and shoot up places because once more, them videos ain't getting flagged. He's in their video with I seen one picture. The devil had a Trump "Make America Great Again" Trump sign. He had it on like a cape with the American flag in the background with a gun. I'm like, if this ain't a red flag, what is?
Right.
Like this is definitely a red flag. Just like when you see little kids torturing animals, like you know he's going to be a serial killer nowadays. When you see a devil with a Confederate flag, an American flag, and a Trump flag with a rifle, that's a red flag. That's the platform for the school shooter. You get what I'm saying? That's the mass shooter platform right there, and we just ignore it. That's the stuff that needs to be red flagged. That's from here on out. That needs to be deemed as hate speech and hate crime. You see anybody with that kind of material, American flag and the Confederate flag and the Trump flag, all that needs to be in the hate crime paraphernalia list. You get what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's exactly what it is.
Right.
My fault. I didn't mean to beat a dead horse on that. But anything else you want to bring out about that podcast? How these parents is trying to steal all the shine from the kids now? Because if not, we're gonna get into the more serious stuff with Bangad.
Oh yeah, no, that was it. Salakia.
I wanted to get that out the way since that was a little bit of light work, man. Now we about to get into the heavy stuff. Bongad, it's on you. Go ahead and bring up some stories, mighty man. Start where you want to start.
Comic-Con. All right, this is a story from the Washington Post. Title reads, U.S. inflation surges again in June, raising risk for economy.
Now, if I could to even speak on that, y'all remember back in the day, like this was like right after 9/11, they start talking about what did they call it? What did they call it? Because we called it something else. What did they call that word? With the white people word for poor.
I know what you're talking about.
Recession.
Yeah, recession. There it is. There it is. Like that is the white people word for poor, a recession. Like, I never knew that. Listen, granted, I went to public school, but I never heard that word before 9/11.
Right.
Because when it comes to being broke, we come from the hood. We just called it broke or poor. You get what I'm saying? Like I told you, I never knew I was poor before other kids told me I was poor. I thought I was living the way I was supposed to live. I didn't know that I was supposed to be wearing Jordans and having the most expensive clothes and basically trying to live outside my means. I was happy in my own little bubble. But the second that I decided to take on other people's bubble, guess what I started to want? Other people's desires. I didn't give a damn about no Jordans. I didn't give a damn about the fancy clothes. I didn't give a damn about none of that. I was happy in my own bubble. Only reason I knew I was poor is because I was told I was poor. Now, the only reason that we know there's a recession, black people, is because we're told it's a recession. Read that part again, Bungad.
Comic-Con says U.S. inflation surges again in June, raising risk for economy.
U.S. inflation. Now, the word inflation to me, I'll break that down in ghetto terms. When a price is inflated, you know what that simply means in ghetto terms? You can't afford it.
Right.
Like, we never use the word inflation. We use the word can't afford it. That's what we would say. So if you can't afford it, don't buy it. Like everybody's complaining about the gas prices. But once more, I come from the ghetto. And here's one thing that we've always done about gas prices. It don't matter. Like, I remember when gas, and I ain't trying to give my age away. Quackers already know what I'm talking about. But I remember when gas was like $1.50, $2.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It just recently was $3, and we've seen the price shoot up. Now this is the new normal. Gas is $4 or $5 now. This is the new normal. But my thing is this: even when gas was $1.50 and $2 and $3, it never changed the way that I put gas in my car. If I got $20, that's what I'm putting in my goddamn car. I don't care what the gas prices is.
Right.
$10. If I got 20, that's what I'm putting in there. I'm not about to I can't make money appear out of nowhere. You get what I'm saying? I'm poor.
Right.
I cannot make that happen. So it don't matter what they inflate these prices to. I'm only going to buy what I'm able to afford to buy. And that is a skill set that only blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians possess. Being able to survive with bare minimum.
Exactly. Damn right.
That's what we got, man. Anybody got something to say? Bring it up.
Kind, sir. And what you brought out is so heavy, man. You know what I'm saying? You've been in a recession, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, since you got off them goddamn ships, man.
Right.
You understand? We've been suffering. We've been dying, man. We've been cannot afford nothing, man. You understand? The thing is, man, the oppressor, man, he don't know how to handle it when he's going through what you're going through, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. And what's the proof of that, man? I bring this out all the time, man, because when they didn't have toilet paper, man, they was calling the police station, man. You understand? They are over here rioting, or not rioting, but they are out here complaining about food. I mean, about gas prices, man. The farmers are complaining about the food is too high and man. You know what I'm saying? They complaining about everything because they never been through no situation like this before, man. You understand? But black man, you know what I'm saying? You got to endure to the end, man. You understand? It's going to be all right. This is a good sign, man, that Christ is going to return, man. and take this kingdom, man. As this kingdom keep falling, as Babylon keep falling, man, we gonna keep rising, man. You understand? You see the brothers, man. You seen the Passover, man. You understand? This kingdom is falling, and we are rising up, man. Only thing you got to do is endure to the end, man.
Right, right. That's a heavy point too. So, like, if I may, like what you was bringing out heavy, and you said recession. I was thinking about well, when I was in high school, what was a recession? You know, so we about to get less chicken nuggets or French fries at lunch or something. All that means is gas about to get high. And so to add on to what Bongal was bringing out, they done figured out that we can survive. You know what I mean? As a people. So now they use little tactics like the U.S. may have to say goodbye to the fried chicken sandwich. Like that's literally like a post just to go inside with the whole recession thing. They think all we care about is chicken or something. But now I seen that just to tack on to that. You know what I mean?
Dang. Yo, hey,
Wow.
we'll turn, Salaki, we'll turn a lamb to a chicken sandwich, man. We'll turn goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we gonna be good. We gonna be all right, man. You know what I'm saying? Salakia.
And that's the thing. They talk about inflation. So what? Everything has always been overpriced for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
We've
Right.
never been able to afford. Listen, this is the whole purpose of America. Just think about how they gentrify the neighborhood. Like now, they take a $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 house and they make it a $200,000, $300,000 house. Nigga, we've never been able to afford what the oppressors trying to do to us, man. Like, you don't give a damn about inflation. Listen, I hope everything is inflated. That ain't gonna do nothing
Right.
to make every black, Hispanic, Native Indian man, woman, and child more valuable.
Right.
We can survive with whatever, man. These white people didn't know about Roman noodles until the recession hit.
Right.
Now you see them on that's what the TikTok, Twitter videos is coming from. Hey, putting Roman noodles in the toilet and trying to figure out how to cook them.
Right. Right.
I seen that judge was gross. I'm like, who in the world does that? You know what I'm saying?
The oppressor.
White people that's in a recession.
Yeah, oh my
Right.
goodness. Recession what? It's a recession. Y'all make some Kool-Aid. You better go next door and ask such and such. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no recession, when it comes to the black community. That just means
Damn
they
right.
can't go to Aspen this year or whatever place they usually go for a 45th anniversary vacation.
Right.
Like,
And
get out of
Salaki, and if I could, that just means blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians got to come together, like the Lord said. Been bringing it out since the beginning of goddamn time, man. That's what you need to do. I tell you how to beat recession, man. Come together, man. That's how you do that. You want food, you want water, come together, join unto your brothers, man. Because the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we preparing for war, man. And we got food, we got clothes, we got water, we got all the goddamn answers, man. You understand? And when you find that out, man, your life is gonna be better, man. You gonna finally get a taste of life, get a little bit of taste of the kingdom, man. You understand?
Right. Right.
Damn right. That's a heavy point. That's a heavy point. And here's the funny part. When I say funny, I mean sad. It takes for this to happen. It takes for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians' backs to be against the wall in order for us to realize that we all we got. Because
Right.
because here's what's going to happen when gas prices become too high for the oppressor to afford, when food becomes too high for the oppressor to afford, when all these so-called accessories and necessities become too high for these other heathen nations to afford, who do you think they're going to turn to? Now that's when the world goes back into the Mad Max stage.
Right.
Who the hell do you think they're going to be trying to siphon off of? When the
Right.
world was first like that, who did they turn to? They turned to you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, and woman. They said, listen, we don't have this, and we need to figure out how to make this work with bare minimum. And we took bare minimum and built them great cities. That's what we did. We took bare minimum and built them great cities and didn't get none of the goddamn rewards from it. That's
Right.
what the whole curse of Deuteronomy is about. You get what I'm saying? That's what Deuteronomy 28 is all about. Talking about how if we served the Lord, all the great things that would happen, but if we didn't, all the wicked things that would happen. And we
Right.
chose not to follow the Lord. We chose to keep trying to love everybody. We chose to keep trying to do all this other wicked stuff. But at the end of the day, you see what happened. You get what I'm saying? We made them a great kingdom, and now, you know what I'm saying? and now we suffer within that great kingdom. But the glorious thing is this: the Lord is making it so Babylon is falling.
All right.
That's why stories like this is coming out. Like the oppressor is crying. He's crying his heart out. Listen, I love it. I love the fact that life is getting too hard for him to to maintain. I love it. I love the fact that he's like these gas prices is too high and he can't afford this and he can't afford that. That makes my heart warm to see him suffer like how blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have always suffered. Because the thing
Right.
is this, he's suffering the way that we suffer, but the difference is this: he can't adapt to it.
Right.
Like we adapt to it. We listen. It's nothing for us. With him, he can't take it. Pretty soon, he's gonna see him shooting up a gas station. You see what happened with the other devil? We shot up the grocery store. Is them food prices that drove him to it. Pretty soon, you're gonna see him do the same thing with a gas station. He's gonna go shoot up a goddamn gas station. Talking about the Arabs and the Arabs done it. The Arabs the reason he couldn't drive his car up here. He had to ride his bike up there to shoot up the gas station. Just
Right.
like you, man. The oppressor's the goddamn devil.
Right.
That's definitely in the spirit, man.
Right.
My fault on gas. Something else you want to bring out on that story?
It's like that was just the title.
Damn.
Oh, no.
Breaking it down like you're with 20 verses into that thing. But let's hear about the suffering of the oppressor. It brings my heart joy on a Sunday to hear about the suffering of the oppressor.
Go, gun. It says U.S. inflation surged to a new 4-decade high in June because of rising prices for gas, food, and rent, squeezing household budgets and pressuring the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates aggressively, trends that raise the risk of a recession.
Mm.
The government.
So it's like if I could, man. That sounds like music to my goddamn ears, man. These goddamn devils, man, they're finally going through what we've been going through for over 400 years, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just a beautiful thing, man. You know what I'm saying?
And the funny part is they talking about rent. Like, who cares? What that oppressor gonna do? He ain't gonna do nothing but go find an inhabited island somewhere off the radar, genocide all the people there and steal it. That's all he's gonna
Right.
do.
Right.
That's what he's best at. You know what I'm saying? Like this like the oppressor is such a goddamn crybaby, man. He suffers for one little iota. He talk about the highest rate in over 4 decades. Who? Man, get out of here. For who? You?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? This is how you know he's specifically talking about his nation and his people. The highest rate in over 4 decades. Man, we suffer every. It don't matter what decade we in. God damn it, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are suffering. We always underpaid, overworked, you name it. Listen, we suffering. It's 4 decades, and for the last 4 decades, nobody can tell me one black prominent, dominant black business that is a superstore like Walmart or Kroger's or whatever it is on your side of town in your cities. Like there's always that one chain store that has that's basically well known, that's all throughout that city or that state that everybody goes to. And we don't have one black business like that anywhere in the goddamn world. And you want to talk about the money is messed up for the last 4 decades. This is the worst it's ever been. Well, listen, for black people, it's always been that way. We've always had bare minimum. We've always had nothing to work with. You get what I'm saying? Like I remember growing up. This is just a sidebar. I remember growing up. We were so poor. My mama, we would all go to the pantry, right? And we would get whatever food the pantry gave us. And my mama would make what's called a I don't want to be hungry pot. If you don't want to be hungry, you're going to eat what the hell she conjured up in this pot. You get what I'm saying? And the funny part, it was always good. That's
Some hamburger,
yeah,
apple slices.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it was always good. But
That shit sound good.
That's how we survive. The oppressor cannot survive like that. If he can't have his bloody steak, he's gonna eat people. That's what he's gonna do.
Right.
That's just his spirit. He's gonna be cannibalizing people. Let these grocery prices go just a tad higher. He's gonna be living inside an elephant's butthole, eating people. Like that's what he's gonna do. Like he is definitely a beast of the field, man.
Right.
And the thing about it, out of one, they got it. They have the money to afford the stuff. But you know, like it's like that scripture.
Salakia. They
Like,
make the money. They print the
right.
goddamn money themselves. They told us what they were saying.
Right,
They
right.
lower interest rate and print more money. Like that's what they crying about. Like America
Right.
stole everything of value. They took all the diamond, all the gold, you name it, all the silver, and said we're going to give you this paper with our face on it, and it's going to be valuable.
Right, right.
Take it and love it, nigga. Like that's what they did.
Right,
And now they're talking
right.
about there's not enough paper with our face on it to go around. Well, why don't you give up the diamonds and the golds and everything else, the oil, everything else that you're holding of value, man? The
Right.
president's such a beast, man. We know what he's really doing.
Right. And we need to know that this is of the Lord, man. Like, man, there's no way to escape it. Just like Egypt was a great nation and was brought down, so will America be brought down, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's time for you to come out of her, man. Like the scripture says, so you won't be partaking of her plagues, man. You know what I'm saying? So you won't come out of her. So you won't. I'm just paraphrasing the scripture, man. So you won't be a part of her sins, man. Come out of America, man. Join them to your brothers, man. We gonna be all right. Damn right.
The funny part is, it's almost like it's too late. So, like, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
go ahead, Adawan.
Like you made me think about something when you were saying, come out of her so you don't be a part of her, or you won't be a part of her plagues or suffering. And I was just thinking about like how this Twitter and TikTok and all this stuff, like that Twitter is damn near a plague. Like what Quatazar was saying earlier, how the parents are going around and telling their kids I'm about to go fight a parent. Come help me fight. You got to beat up the kid and this and that and blase scoop. Like this is what we don't get biblically. Like, and I'm sitting right here next to my son, and I'm gonna make it very simple. This is the point I'm trying to make. Who are my enemies? Say it so the people can hear you. I don't think they get it. I don't have to ask him if he's gonna fight with me. You get what I'm saying? My enemies are his enemies. His enemies are my enemies. We have the same goddamn enemies. Because the same people that's trying to hurt me, you better believe they're trying to hurt him. You get what I'm saying? I don't have to ask him, hey, son, I'm about to go beat up his dad. Are you going to fight his son for me? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but the oppressor takes stuff like that, and this is how they flip the Bible on its head all the time, because that's supposed to be biblical. Like, listen, I grew up in the Christian world, which means that my mother oppressed my father, and my father was man enough to fucking freaking leave. You get what I'm saying? And we look at that like that's a bad thing, but it's really a glorious thing because he wouldn't let his manhood be taken. But with that being said, I didn't grow up with my father. But even with that being said, that's still my father, and his enemies are my enemies. It's that simple. You get what I'm saying? In fact, I'll tell you like this. Every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, woman, and child within the sound of my voice, their enemies are my enemies.
That's right.
Y'all have the same goddamn enemies, man.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? And this is what we forgot in America, because America wants you to love your enemies. Your enemies is killing you, and America teaches you to love your enemies to death. And I blame Christian church, of course. That's who I blame, because America is built off of Christianity. Christianity is white supremacy.
Right.
And that's how that cookie crumbles. And then in the spirit of that, they want us to feel sorry for Babylon falling. When more people in the world hear stories like this, they get afraid. They say the economy's going apart, inflation, the food prices, the gas prices, rent. Oh no, nigga, we've never been able to afford rent. How is this affecting you from the way you've been living for the last 4 decades, like they said? I've struggled every decade there is to struggle with.
Right.
And I'm still here. If that ain't the Lord, tell me what is, man. This is not your fight, Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man.
Salakia, if I could. Salakia. I got a scripture out of one. Amos chapter 9, verse 4. And though they go into captivity before their enemies, before who? Their enemies, your brother. Their enemies, your best friend. Your enemies, Thence will I command thee sword, man. Like we don't the Christian church, man, we don't think that we have an enemy, man, because they telling us that God loves everybody, man. You understand? When the Lord says that we have an enemy, man, you know what I'm saying? Like we are at war, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. It's time for you to wake up, man.
Goddamn right. Heavy scripture. God, some more on that article. I know I've been talking your ear off.
Congo Khan. I'm gonna skip down one paragraph. Lower income and Black and Hispanic American have been hit especially hard, since a disproportionate share of their income goes toward essentials such as transportation, housing, and food. But with the cost of many goods and services rising faster than average incomes, a vast majority of Americans are feeling the pinch in their daily routines.
Salakia, only if I could.
Go ahead, mighty man.
Man,
Hey, listen,
let-
this platform is for niggas
Hey,
like you.
hey, you know what I'm saying? Let no man deceive you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man.
Right.
Hey,
Right. That's it right there.
hey, you been not having no goddamn transportation. The food been high, man. God damn, man.
If I could, to piggyback off of what you're saying, that's exactly how they get us to fight their fight. This don't just affect white people. It's affecting you too, black people. Like,
Right.
and then they have to say it to where we think about it. Is it?
Right.
I guess it is. I do have $5 less than I had last week. Looking at it, like, come on, man. Oh my God, if you could, please read that part again. Please read that part again, man.
Sorry, could you repeat that other one?
I was saying, would you please read that part that you just read again, where it talks about the Black and Hispanic income and how it's affecting them? It's definitely affecting them. They ain't never had nothing, and now everything they have is being taken away. Like, read that part.
Lower income and Black and Hispanic American have been hit especially hard, since a disproportionate share of their income goes toward essentials such as transportation, housing, and food.
If I could, only if I could. Like, we've always been had to put that like, we make pennies on the goddamn dollar. What do you expect? And my thing is this: they're talking about transportation, essentials like food. Like, my thing is this: well, if that's the case, why the hell are you raising all the prices? If you care about Black people and Hispanic people so much, why did it take till now, 4 decades later, in the worst economic whatever the hell they called it? It took 4 decades. It took 40 years for you to realize that the economy is going to crap and Black people and Hispanic people are suffering. It took you 40 years to figure that out.
Right.
It took you 40 years to figure out that we don't make enough money to pay for bills as well as food and everything else that we need. I know in this city alone, man, like in the city of Indianapolis, here's what they're doing. They are mutilating the bus line, right? The bus line used to be set up to where every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian that lived in the ghetto, they can get to where point A to point B, wherever they needed to be. They done destroyed that now, and the white man is such a beast. He lets you know what he's doing. He destroyed the old bus line, and then he calls it the red line. And we all know what redlining is. Redlining is a program that was put in place to make sure that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians did not benefit from essential things like homes, banking, things of that nature, and made it so they couldn't get houses and all that kind of things, so white society could benefit. Well, guess what? They named the bus after that same program, and the bus is called the Red Line. And that bus goes in every goddamn white neighborhood there is to go in. Guess where it don't go no more? It don't go in the ghetto no more. Now you got to walk a country goddamn mile. You know how old people used to tell us how they used to have to walk 30 miles to get to school?
Right.
Yeah, back in
going to school.
Yeah, that's exactly how they start. Back in my day when I was going to school, we start taking off from school at 4 in the morning and then get there to 8 in the evening. Like,
barefooted walking over the Antarctic.
Yeah, like that's how you got to get to the bus stop now here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a journey. Like, you never got to catch an Uber to the bus stop. Like, what the hell? That's what they're doing with these bus stops, but they want you to worry. They want you to believe that you don't have enough to afford transportation. You goddamn right when you moved it 30 miles away from me.
Right.
It was right in front of my house. The bus stop was right in front of my house and you moved it. So you didn't want your people to be inconvenienced. So you inconvenienced my people. And then you want me to cry about the inconvenience of your people. If this isn't a classic oppressor move, I don't know what is. Like Kumapar brought out, let no man deceive you. That's all I had. So Lucky, you go ahead, Bungat. Unless anybody else has something they want to add.
But
Nah,
with the but with the cost of many goods and services rising faster than average incomes, a vast majority of Americans are feeling the pinch in their daily routines. For 72-year-old Marcia Freeman, who is retired and lives off of a pension, there is no escape from rising expenses. This is a quote from Marcia Freeman. Everything goes up, including cheaper items like store brands, said Freeman, who visited a food bank near Atlanta this week to try and gain control of her grocery costs. Grocery prices have jumped 12% in the past year, the steepest climb since 1979.
and if I could, you gotta understand, man, this is their heaven, man. You know what I'm saying? And all these things that are happening are truly of the Lord, man. Because now they're not comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Now they're you know what I'm saying, that temperature is boiling, man. Because they so used to having it easy. They so used to having it cheap. They so used to getting their way, man. But this goddamn kingdom is falling, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. You
Right.
understand? And that's what we need to see, man. Like, man. And it's gonna keep falling as long as we do the will of the Lord and come together. It's gonna keep falling, man. This damn kingdom can fall overnight, man. If we put the weed down, if we
Right.
stop being whores, if we stop murdering each other, hating each other. You know what I'm saying?
And if I could, Bungat, read that sister name again.
Kamal Khan. For 72-year-old Marcia Freeman.
And I just assume she's a sister because I'm programmed a little bit. When I hear the last name Freeman, I know that was some of the first last names given to blacks as they were released from slavery to prove that they were freemen. They were given the last name Freeman. So I just assume that she's a black person, even though, I don't have any proof. And I also say that to say this, like I said, the last name Freeman, but she's 72 years old and she's like, even the store brand stuff is going up in price. The only people to buy store brand stuff is blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians because that's all we can afford. We can't afford Fruit Loops, so we get Loop Fruits. You get what I'm saying? Like, we can't afford Hamburger Helper, so we get Hamburger Helper. You know what I'm saying? The Burger Helper. That's what we get. Like, we always buy store brand stuff. Like, listen, my little baby, man, my daughter Mariah, she is the worst. We was at the store yesterday and she was asking for some chicken biscuit crackers, right? And I'm looking at the price. The price on just the name brand is $5, right? And I'm looking at the store brand and it's like $3. And I'm like, well, I can save $2 if I get the store brand. So I'm like, I grabbed the store brand. It's the same cracker, mind you. Just not the little logo and the name brand, right? It's the same cracker. So I grabbed the store brand to try to give it to her, right? And I'll try to put it in the cart. Don't you know this little nigga stopped me? She grabbed my hand and pushed it back on the shelf and pointed to the name brand. And you already know what I did. I turned the cart around. Now you don't get nothing. Now you don't get nothing. Like, listen, I can barely afford the store brand, but I'd be damned if you think I can afford the name brand. But like that goes to show you like the programming in our kids to think that that like this food and all this stuff, like it's really no difference in it. So there's no difference between the name brand and the store brand besides the box because
The look of it.
yeah, the look of it. Because to me, like it all tastes the same to me. Like I'll make it even simpler. Give me a name brand hamburger. Exactly. When I said that, everybody was like, "What are you talking about?" You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you don't go to like back in the day, everybody used to go buy this brand called Tyson's Chicken. That was the name brand chicken, Tyson's Chicken. Now you don't go buy that Tyson's Chicken no more. You go to the store and you look for the cheapest chicken there is, and you'll grab 10 of them if the price is right.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And let me ask you something. Can you taste the difference between the cheapest chicken and the name brand chicken? You can't. You can't. Let me tell you something. With them same goddamn crackers that my daughter wanted, if she would have just let me get them and I'd have hooked them up with some turkey and cheese, she wouldn't have been able to taste the difference in the crackers either. She want to act like she paid bills and got money around here. It's just what she don't get. She don't get the crackers that she wanted. But I say all that to say this. Like that sister right there, that 72-year-old, like she sees the difference in the price going up. Like the store brand, Walmart, places like that. Like it's crazy the prices that you see on the shelves for us, all that stuff. But she's saying that she can't afford it. She lives on a pension, like she can't afford that. So my next question is this: why does she have to afford it? Where's her help? Where is the Christian church?
Right.
I know for a fact that she's a good Christian. I don't know this woman, but her last name is Freeman. Everybody with the last name Freeman has to be a good Christian. They think white Jesus every day. I'm sure of it. My thing is this: why come she can't turn to her congregation in the Christian church? Why?
Yeah, reason why.
Why can't she do that? Why doesn't she have somebody there to help her out, to help her suffer through whatever it is she's suffering through? Point blank period. She should have a nation to support her and help her. But she doesn't. So now she's suffering. And this goes to show you the hypocrisy and the wickedness of the Christian church and why you should come into the ISUPK. Because I can guarantee you this. Since I've been in this school, I've never been hungry.
Right.
If I don't have it, I know for a fact my brothers do. Have you ever been to one of our goddamn feast days?
Right.
If not, you need to come.
Right.
It is like the best thing ever. And you get all type of food that you've never had before from different tribes that you never knew existed before you came into the school. You understand?
Right.
Like this is the place you want to be. I can tell you one thing. If I'm ever hungry, I'll make one phone call. I'll make one phone call to my cap and say, "Hey, cap, we can't afford groceries." And I'm going to eat.
Right.
Damn
That's
right.
what a nation does. Not that Christian church.
Right.
That's all I had to say.
He gonna call every brother in the goddamn state. You know what I'm saying? In the goddamn United States, we need some food. You know what I'm talking about? That's a lot. We need to raise up funds for this brother to eat, man. So lock you.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
right.
Hey, I tell you what, though, if you is hungry, you can go to Quam's Grill LLC and get you something to eat if you're in Oklahoma.
I got the ribs. Hey, I got the ribs on right now. Nah, it's like
Shout out to Paul Grill LLC in Oklahoma, man. Y'all better be doing business down there.
You know
hey,
what I mean?
damn right, man. The water, man. Nah.
I got the
It's a lot. Yeah, man. And that's what it's all about, man. This brotherhood, man. Because brotherhood is a weapon, man. You know what I'm saying? We can't do this on our own. You know, you got that goddamn Christian, man. You know, I'm gonna do it. I can figure this out on my own. We can't figure it out on our own, man. We gotta come together, man.
Right.
You understand? Because the Lord commanded us to, man. And that's that. We gotta understand that this Bible is our blueprint, man. The hell with the rest, man. All we need to do is follow the Bible, man.
Right.
The Bible will tell you if you don't clean your goddamn sheets, you'll get boils on your goddamn bumps on your mother goddamn face, man. The Bible tells you everything, man. You understand? For real, man. That's our blueprint, man. I got that from Captain of Potazai, man. You know what I'm saying? The Bible is our blueprint, man. You know what I'm talking about? A blueprint, you can build a goddamn building, you can build this, you can build that. That's how we're gonna build our community, man. With this blueprint, the Bible, man.
Damn right. Let's get some more, Bongat. I know we done talked your ear off. My God, like, can I get through one damn paragraph?
So like that was the end of that specific article after 40 minutes. But
Right?
but now what the brothers was bringing out was so heavy though. You understand? Like our people don't realize that the ISUPK, we are the solution to this problem because we are the architects that can read that Bible. You understand? Like we're the ones that have the solutions for our people. Like if you got a grandparent or if you're just elderly like this sister is, you know what I'm saying, who has to, live off of pension or social security, or whether it is that their, children or grandchildren have to give them money in order for them to get by. If you're a brother or sister who has, just uh, a slave that pays you nothing more than dirt and crumbs, you understand? Like the ISUBK, we've been offering food programs to our people since 1969. Like ISUBK St. Louis under Captain de Bar, like they give out tons of food every single year. And when I say tons, I don't mean just a large amount of food. I mean thousands of pounds of food to so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians every single year. Of course, with the guidance of Commanding General Yahana and the ISUPK. But we have these different programs set up to help our people, whether you are old, young, poor, you understand? Like we have these things set up. If you need help getting off of drugs, we have programs for it. If you need food, we have programs. If you're struggling with rent, we have programs. All you have to do is learn to get down with your people. You understand? Learn to change your life and to live it how it is that Christ demanded for you to live it. And we can be out of this hell it is that we live in and that we've been living in for the past 400 years. You understand? That's all it takes.
Right.
Damn right. Heavy what you brought out. Hey, mighty man, Lacan, y'all about to Shabaka Thumb. What's going on?
Hey, I wish him Shabbat thumbs. What's going on out of William? While arguing?
What's going
Hey,
on, mighty
Shalom,
man?
yo, Shabbat.
Yo, since like a
Yeah, what Bangad was bringing out so heavy. To simplify it for the people who still didn't understand, the ISUPK is the bridge. You understand? You trying to get across a hard time, the ISUPK is the bridge.
Right.
You understand? Your Christian church has failed you. The Christian church has been failing Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. This is the home of the truth, and this is the only way. You understand? ISUPK is for the greater good. You understand? It's that simple.
Right.
It's for the greater good. The Christian church has failed Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The government has never given them about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You can't turn to any other nation. The African's not going to help you.
Right.
The Chinese man will beat you all the way the hell up out of Chinatown. The Arabs, you come in there and say you need $3 on pump 5. The Arab ain't about to say, well, listen, I'm going to go ahead and give you another $10. You look like you're trying to get to work, and I'm going to help you out. I'm going to bless you. The Arab ain't going to do that. Who can you turn to, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man? The scriptures say this. Every nation will turn to their own.
Right.
Every nation will turn to their own. Every other nation has turned to their own. When are you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man? You are the
Right.
nation of Israel. It's time to turn back and come home. Point blank, period. Let's go ahead and get the next story, Bungab. We're going to dive into it a little bit before we shut it down.
Come.
Everybody still watching, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to ISUPK. No matter what city you in, whether it's Chicago, Indianapolis, Oklahoma, Columbus, it don't matter. You understand? We're everywhere. This is the army of the Lord. This is the nation that the Lord has built.
This is an article from CBS News, and the title reads, 3 suspects face over 100 charges each after hate symbols found in New York town. 3 suspects are facing 115 charges each after pamphlets and stickers that contained swastikas and other hate symbols were found at 2 places of worship and other public and private properties across Cornell, New York. over the weekend, local police said. The Evening Tribune reported that flyers displaying the Aryan National Army with skulls pictured inside of a swastika were left at different locations. Legal advocacy organization Southern Poverty Law Center says the Aryan Nations was an organizing force for white supremacists that cultivated a wide spectrum of racist and anti-Semitic ideas.
If I could you read the beginning of that one more time for me? Just the part. I'll tell you when to stop.
The first part of the whole article, or of that?
Yeah, the first part of the whole article.
Come on. 3 suspects are facing 115 charges each after pamphlets and stickers that contain swastikas
All right,
and other.
right there. It says 3 suspects are facing 100 and how many charges each?
115.
115 charges apiece. Let me tell you something. We could tell you who them hate speech wasn't predicated to, who it wasn't directed to. It wasn't directed to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's for sure. Because people that does anything hateful towards blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians never get charged with anything.
Right.
You can kill a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian and won't get charged with the goddamn thing. And it said, like, hate symbols. So I'm guessing they had American flags painted on there too as well, right?
Right.
They had some American flags painted on there. This talk about hate symbols. I'm guessing that had to be one of them.
Right.
But they talk about the swastikas, and they said the police are investigating. So the funny part is, the police are investigating themselves.
Right.
Right.
They're investigating themselves. Because let me tell you something. You want to know where the KKK is at? You want to know where these white supremacists at? These white nationalist groups? These people that wear the swastikas, that got them tattooed on their shoulders? They do that purposely so they can hide in plain sight. But it's your police force. It don't matter what city or state you're in. It's your goddamn police force. Point blank. Period.
Right.
It's like y'all want.
Yeah, I'm right.
I was about to say, I thought America was all about embracing what it is that you identify as. Clearly those devils identified as Nazis. You got to be able to rep what you identify as. That's why there's LGBT flags and, flying in front of houses, and why it is they can have the parades and everything. So why is it that Nazis can't sit there and rep who it is that they are?
Because you just hit the nail right on the head. Because we know them Nazis don't get down with the LGBT community. Now, if the Nazis just hated black people and black people alone, the Nazis would be the biggest. They would be bigger than any rap, singer, dancer, athlete on the face of this planet. Right. But because they don't accept LGBT community, and when I say they don't accept them openly. Now, you could be a closet homo all you want to, because most Nazis are anyway. Right. But the problem is when you're doing it out in public. Like, you got to keep that stuff in the bedroom. Right. Like that's how the Nazis operate. You got to keep that stuff down in the bedroom and don't let nobody else know that, you're a homo. But since you want to wear it out in the open, the Nazis have a problem with that. And that's why it's such a big deal, because once more, they don't care as long as the Nazis are coming after blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And by Nazis, I mean all these white supremacist groups. Long as they're coming after blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, nobody has a damn thing to say. I mean, their leader was once the president. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually, 100 leaders and members are always the president. Even Obama. Even him might. You get what I'm saying? So that's not the point. The point is this. They're making their LGBT community allies afraid, and they can't have that. They can't have that. You get what I'm saying? So you hit the nail right on the head. Like, they should be able to self-identify as how they want to, which they do. The problem is now you're making my other friends feel uncomfortable, and I can't have that. That's how America operates. America needs homosexuality to take over and destroy, because that's how you kill blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. Right. Like in the book of Jude, right? Judith, I think it's 5:19. where it talks about where the heathen king had called the council and was talking about how to destroy the children of Israel. They wanted to go to war. And he went going through listening to all the council. Then the one heathen said, listen, as long as they God is with them, you cannot defeat them. And then he told them our whole history. He said, listen, when the God was with him, he brought them out of Egypt. He destroyed the Hamites. When they God turned against them, they was conquered by this people, this, that, blah, this scoop. I'm paraphrasing the scriptures. But he said this, if you want to destroy them people, get them to turn away from their God. And that's what America has done for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's why everything that's against God is okay to do. This Nazi regime, these white supremacist regimes, right? They want to be a Bible-based organization. They want to, when I say Bible, I mean Christianity. I don't mean the book of the black God, because that's why they come out with new versions of the Bible every year. Every year a devil reads it and finds something that should have been taken out to try to further suppress the truth. Right. Shit, it says black here. My fault about the profanity. But then look at it and be like, oh, it says black. We got to take that word black out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, where are we going to put in place of black? We'll figure it out later. You get what I'm saying? But this definitely has to go. Right. Like, so that's why they come out with new Bibles. Because when you think about it, just think about it. The Nazis and these other white racist organizations, they're faith-based organizations. They follow the Bible. That's why they burn the cross in your front yard. That's why usually when you see people with swastikas, there's a cross right next to it. You get what I'm saying? Like, they hate Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, but they love white Jesus.
Right.
So this ain't nothing but another war tactic for them to operate, for them to do what they do. Like I said, they would have let this thing roll. They charged them with 115. What was the bunk at? 115 what?
Slacky.
You said 115 hate what?
Slacky. 1 second. It just says 3 suspects are facing 115 charges each after pamphlets and stickers that contain swastikas and other hate symbols were found at 2 places of worship.
Real quick, what's 3 times 115?
3 times 115?
Yeah.
That would be 345.
45? Yeah, 345. So out of 345 charges, I bet you none of them have anything to do with Blacks, Hispanics, or Native Indians.
Right.
I can guarantee it. None of them have nothing to do with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They came across a pamphlet that said kill all niggers. They threw that one out. This one doesn't matter. Like, I can guarantee it, man. But anything that had to do with homosexuality in any other nation, that's what they charged them with. Right. That's all I got to say.
And so, like Yadawan, if you go down a little further in the article, it gives the name of the devils, and then it says we're each arrested and charged with 115 counts of first-degree aggravated harassment, which is classified as a Class E felony.
Aggravated harassment.
I haven't heard that one before.
I have. Aggravated harassment. Hey, and they charged her with aggravated harassment. Like, at what point? All right, so if you're already charging them with a hate crime, why wouldn't you charge them something more dramatic?
Right.
As opposed to aggravated harassment. I'll tell you what I witnessed. I'll tell you how deep white privilege goes, right? We went to the store the other day. I'll go ahead and say it. Walmart. Because Walmart is another racist organization, another racist store ran by oppressors. We went to Walmart, right? There's a police car out front. We walk in there and they got a little door to the side where I guess they snatch shoplifters up and lock them up, right? So as we walking in, there's 2 chicks, right? They in there with their cart, and there's 2 chicks and they got a baby with them. They in there with their cart, and the police is going through their cart, looking at their receipts and everything, because I guess somebody accused them of stealing. They end up getting let go. They didn't steal nothing. You get what I'm saying? They end up letting them go. But if they had stole something, I can guarantee you they would have locked them up, right?
Right.
Well, that's us going in, witnessing it. On the way out, as we were checking out, because, Walmart, they don't like to, you no longer go to a line to check out. You check yourself out.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty much what it is now.
You're right. You check yourself out. As we checking out, we're going, and it was a devil. I seen the devil when he came in. He ran to the back. We still in line checking out. As we getting ready to leave, he's leaving. And loss prevention chased him down, right? And snatched the devil up, brought him back in, and then let the devil go back out. And as he's escorting the devil out, he's telling him, "You can never come back on this property again. You never come back on this property again." The devil got caught stealing, right? But they didn't call. Like, why didn't they call the police on him? Why wouldn't he took into a little room and interrogated and did the same thing that they did to them sisters? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And the loss prevention guy was a black dude too. And I said, "Man, what the hell? You just gonna let him walk out like that?" I said, "You ain't gonna tase him or nothing." I'm like, I was offended.
Like it if I could.
Damn right. Go ahead, Mighty Man.
Why didn't they do to them the same thing they did to Jalen Walker? If we're found stealing, they're gonna gun us down just like they gunned down every other black man.
That's the same thing I said to the cat. I didn't bring up Jalen Walker, but I said, let Mia try to steal something out this thing. I said, I'd have had to beat all y'all up. Y'all would have had to kill me because I'd have beat you clean. I'm like, man, why the hell could you just let him walk out like this? You didn't, and then you tell him he can never come back. You didn't take his picture to put to the wall of shame or nothing.
Right.
Like, you just allow this devil just to get away with this. Like, white privilege at its finest, man. Like, that is white privilege at its finest, man. And it's funny because hearing them stories about these white supremacists that's getting charged with this crime, they charged them with aggravated harassment or whatever it is. Whatever it is, it wasn't a harsh enough charge. That's the point I'm trying to make. They are slapping these people on the hand and letting them get away with murder. Literally. That's all I had to say.
If I could, real quick, sir. If I remember correctly, there was an incident that happened in Kentucky where a little Chinese man thought that one of our little brothers, I forgot how old he was, but they thought he was stealing, and the Chinese man held the little brother at gunpoint, and it took the ISUPK to shut that Chinese store down.
I remember that.
And why they not at least holding them at gunpoint if they're not gonna kill them? And that's another prime example of, you know what I'm saying, why the ISUPK is so important. You know what I'm saying? Why the Christian church has failed, why they will always fail, why we say, you know, Christian church is white supremacy, because the only place you will get the truth on any situation is right here in the ISUPK under Command General Yohana. So like it.
Damn right, Bungat. If you would, let's get some more on it. We're going to get ready to shut it down in like the next, who knows? Let's get some more on the story.
So yeah, that was really it on that story. But the most disgusting thing it is that I had wanted to bring out about the story, it has to do with a clip from, you know, one of their news broadcasts, which sadly we can't play, so we don't get flagged or anything for, you know, copyright. But
we should be able to play the audio, even if it's a video. Like we ain't got to play the viewing part, but we can play some of the audio. That's if you want to. If not, you can just go ahead and break it down.
Yeah, so like just to be safe, I'd rather stay away from the videos. Like it.
And we pushing boundaries on this thing. No, I'm just kidding. No sweat. Go ahead.
But basically, what they was talking about in the news broadcast is how it is that Jewish people, you know, are discriminated against so much, but it's never reported in the news because it will never catch traction. And how it is that they are discriminated against more than so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, which we know simply is not true. You understand? Like the Jewish man, anything that happens to him, like just from this alone, like those devils, they got charged with hate crimes and they got charged with another felony. You understand? If there's anyone speaks out against the so-called Jewish man not being the real Jew, then there are repercussions behind what is said. You understand? But when it comes to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, I mean, they can do anything to us. Like there was a brother a few weeks ago who was lynched basically behind a police station. You understand? And Command and Juliana, of course, covered it on Black Watch. But there's been no justice for that brother. There was no justice for Philando Castile, for Sandra Bland, for Eric Garner. You understand? For Tamir Rice, for any of our brothers and sisters. It's like the what's that brother's name? Ahmed Alberry. Like for all of our brothers and sisters who have been murdered, discriminated against, wrongfully convicted of crimes we have not committed, like all these different things that happen to us, and there is never any kind of justice. But the minute it is that you say, the wrong thing to someone in the LGBTQ community, the moment you say something that offends a Jewish man or woman, you understand, then you get charged with a hate crime. Like that's why it's so important for us to come together as a people and to get under the banner of the ISUPK so that we can truly be protected. You understand? Because this is the little sanctuary that is talked about in the scriptures. This is the last safe place for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Like we just got to be able to, follow the rules of the nation if we want to really be protected.
Yeah, I'm right. If I could, that's
Right.
why I call the ISUPK New Jerusalem. You understand? Like this is the only safe haven for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. This is it, man. And what you was bringing out was so heavy. Like we've witnessed this. We've witnessed this all the time. You can look it up on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, whatever social media platform allows you to look stuff up. You can look this up. What I'm about to say, like one guy was saying about hate speech. First of all, and hate crimes. First of all, like he was saying about the Jewish man, the whole Jewish community gets millions of dollars sent to them by the U.S. government every goddamn year. First of all,
Right.
like they get millions upon millions of dollars just given to them for the so-called Holocaust and to help them rebuild and reclaim their nationality or whatever it is that you want to call being a fake Jew, right? So where is that same love for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Because there's nobody on planet Earth. I don't give a damn who you are, what you say. There is no way that you can compare what happened in the Holocaust to the transatlantic slave trade. There is no way that you can compare the Holocaust to the Native Indian Wars or the Trail of Tears. There is no way. More people died on the Trail of Tears than did in the Holocaust. More people died in the transatlantic slave trade than did in the Holocaust. But somehow the so-called Jewish man is able to have his independence and give him money to thrive. Doesn't have to be up under the same boot heel of the people who oppressed him and able to do their thing as a goddamn nation, while blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are still in this wicked kingdom being slaves to the oppressor. You understand? One more quick point that I want to touch on. My other thing is this. So you trying to tell me that it's hate speech when you say something wicked about not even wicked, because it's not wicked to call a fake Jew a Jew. It's not, and that's the thing about hate speech now. When telling the truth is hate speech. If you tell a transgender that they're not a real woman, if you tell a trans man that he's not a real woman, that is hate speech. You understand? That is hate speech. That's just like telling a giraffe that he's not a horse. Hey, that giraffe is not a horse. That's hate speech. You're discriminating against animals. He self-identifies as a zebra. I mean, what is this world coming to? Hey, what is this world coming to is the point I'm trying to make. This is hate speech. To call a fake Jew is hate speech. But you can literally punch a black person in the face while calling them the N-word and holding them at gunpoint, and you still won't be charged with hate speech or a hate crime or anything concerning hate. How do I know this? Because I've witnessed it for the last 5 years on YouTube or whenever it was that Donald Trump was president. White people lost their mind. Everybody,
Right.
every white person with a gun became a police officer.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Everybody became Batman that day.
Yeah, right. I'm disputing justice out here.
Yeah.
You see all these black people? They're running around. Someone has to protect Gotham. Every white person with a gun became Batman. Like, seriously. They were literally slapping people with guns, calling them the N-word.
Right.
And none of them got charged with hate crimes.
Right.
And then when you took their leader away, of the king of white supremacists, they ran up in the White House.
Right.
with weapons.
Right.
Dressed like Vikings.
Right.
Hey man, this is a wicked place. And they want to say, that, you know, hate speech and hate crimes and hate this and hate that. Well, let me tell you something. Nobody hates more than this whole goddamn country. Nobody hates more than America. America was built off of hate.
Right.
I would almost say it's the American way. That's all
That's
I
right.
got to say. Anybody got anything else they want to break out before we shut this thing down?
Slovakia. If we could, I got one more story I'd like to go over. If we could, but only if we could.
Damn right we can. This is our show. We do what we want to do.
A little bit of taste of the kingdom right there.
Damn right.
Khan. This is impacts of the Roe v. Wade decision on Native American and Alaska Native women sexual violence victim. The June 24th decision by the U.S. Supreme Court overturning the constitutional right to an abortion will adversely impact Native American and Alaska Native victim survivors of sexual violence in several ways. The ruling paves the way for national criminalization of abortion. A number of states, including Idaho, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, and Wyoming already have existing trigger laws that allow those states to ban abortion now that Roe v. Wade has been overturned. Native women and girls suffer the highest rates of stalking, rape, and femicide in the nation, said Lori Jump. Abortion.
Oh, my fault. Let me get in on that just a little bit. I can help these devils out real quick with the solution to the problem. How about you give our goddamn sister some goddamn protection? How about that? You know, like, what you're bringing out is so heavy because my question is this. Where are they getting this information from? If you know the Native American women are at the top of the list for sex crimes committed against them, then that means that you have statistics and you have proof and you have a foundation on why this is happening and how long it's been happening. Why aren't you protecting them? It's that simple. It's that simple, America. Why aren't you protecting them?
It's because they the ones doing it, man. They the one that that govern the reservation. It was this movie, man, and it's it was just about that. How these goddamn devils are setting up, they setting up shop on these plantations, and they are doing that to our women, or to our sisters, man. You know what I'm saying? They the one that's doing it, man. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing it for years. They've been doing it to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians since the goddamn plantation trade. You know what I'm saying? Like, they the goddamn monsters that's doing it, man. You know what I'm saying? There's no way around it. Only thing you can do, them ISUPK brothers are going to that reservation. Get that goddamn flyer, man, because that's what's going to save your life, man. That's your only protection. The white man can't save blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. And that's it. That's the whole conclusion of the whole matter. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
And if I could, real quick, okay, Like what both of y'all saying is so heavy, and why this story is so heavy. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, the so-called oppressors, they want to be native Indian when it benefits them. Like they don't want to be a native Indian whenever, you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to dealing with the issues that our indigenous brothers and sisters deal with. So it was a devil that came up to me at camp this past weekend, and he was looking at me like just how devils do. And he was like, you want something? You know what I'm saying? And here's what I want for all the so-called oppressors, anybody that's not black, Hispanic, or indigenous. I want you to leave us the hell alone. Let us live in peace. Let the ISUPK defend our nation like we're more than capable of doing. Just leave us the hell alone, because that's what's gonna fix us. If we're in charge of us, if we run everything, the world will turn right side up. That's a lot.
If I could, man, I would have told that devil, yeah, I want you to drop dead. You and your goddamn family, man.
Damn right. And I'd have turned east and start praying about it.
Right. I want all the smoke. You know what I'm talking
You
about?
know what I'm saying?
Please cross the line. Please,
You know
not
me,
like it.
you know me, boy. I'll be in class every night. Let loose all the blacks.
Damn right.
You understand, man? I don't give a damn about these heathens. And listen, truth of the matter is this. You know what I'm saying? The truth is this. They don't give a damn about us.
Right.
Like Officer McCollum brought out. They want to be Native Indian when it affects them, when it benefits them. Everybody wants to be Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, but nobody wants to suffer like a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Then when it comes time to suffer, and instead of us, it's them or you. But when it's time to receive rewards, then it's us and me and I. Like the president is truly the goddamn devil, man. And this has been something that's been going on the reservations for too long. I got an even better solution to the problem. How about you get the Native Indians they goddamn land back? Right.
Right.
And take your
Right.
butt back to the Caucasus Mountains somewhere. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole land in Russia for you. It's called Chernobyl. Take your butt there. Have some mutated babies. You're having them anyway with all this incest that these devils be into. You get what I'm saying? You, you got kids with foreheads this damn big. The Cal Rittenhouses of the world. He looked like an incest baby with mental issues because his brain didn't form properly. You get what I'm saying? Like, man, take your butts back to the Caucasus Mountains and leave blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian business, man. We can take care of our own, man. The problem is you too busy raping, pillaging, robbing, and then when I hide the fact that it's you doing it, like Mangata brought out earlier, they said that they found the brother lynched and Commander Junior he was speaking on something that Commander Junior brought out. The brother lynched in back of the police station. You know why they found the brother lynched in back of the police station?
Khan.
Of
Because
course
it was
you
them. They was doing it.
right.
It was them that was goddamn doing it.
They didn't feel like traveling this day. They was like, they got drunk. They was like, you know what? We're just gonna hang this nigger in the back of the station. No one's gonna know. It was us anyway. They're not gonna know. We're just saying we weren't here. Don't they have cameras in back of the station? Like, shouldn't they have? Like, my things is this. Here's what my thing is. You got cameras that can see all the way in outer goddamn space. you got you got cameras that can see to the moon, and you got cameras that's circling around Mars and Jupiter and Uranus and whatever the other planet is called. You get what I'm saying? But when it comes to a crime against the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the cameras is always extra blurry. Like the camera be blurry like this. Like I can't see what's going on. You get what I'm saying? Like these devils is the worst, man. And now we got another situation, which has always been a situation with our women being raped on a consistent basis by their oppressors. And what they're trying to do is use this as a reason to justify abortions. Well, it's black people that's getting raped. It's Hispanic people that's being raped. It's Native Indian women that's being raped. What do you got to say about abortions now, black people? That's the thought process behind it. And my thought process is very simple. It might not be what everybody agree with, but my thought process behind it is very simple. It's still a goddamn baby. You get what I'm saying? It's still a goddamn baby. Them sisters that's been raped need to cry out. Them rapers need to be brought to justice. In my kingdom, I know you know what I'm gonna do. I ain't even gotta go into details. Them rapists, you know what's gonna happen to them rapists in my kingdoms. Even amongst their own heathen tribe, you know what's gonna happen. All my slaves start raping. You know what I'm gonna do. You get what I'm saying? And that's what needs to be done now in America. But the thing is this: rapists get less time than drug dealers. Rapists get less time than murderers. But when it comes to them trying to push their agenda, they want to try to put it like it's such a heinous thing. Well, these people are rapists. Well, why aren't you punishing them like it's such a heinous thing? Why are you letting child molesters go? Because let me tell you something, it's not a child molester or a rapist.
Right.
This is America for you. This is the wickedness and the hypocrisy of this goddamn wicked kingdom.
And Shalakia, we gotta understand that that's how America was built. You know what I'm saying? The home of the homosexuals, the home of the rapists, home of the murderers, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what America was built on, man. Since goddamn Rome. You know what I'm saying? That's their spirit, man. It's the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of, man.
Damn right. Somebody said Salakia.
I was like, I was gonna say, lucky if I could, I'd one. And there's a very simple solution to solve the rape problem within the reservations, within the ghettos, within the barrios, and that's simply to allow the ISUBK to run things.
That's right. That's it.
If you're tired of sisters being raped and sold into sex trafficking, if you're tired of the drugs that are ravishing the reservations and the ghettos, if you're tired of the alcohol problem it is we have had for generations, the murders it is we commit against one another, the thieving it is that we do, you understand, the lying and false accusations it is that we commit, just allow the ISUPK to come in and run things. We'll make sure everything gets straightened out.
That's right.
Like it's as simple as that.
Damn right, mighty man. Well, we, coming up to the end of the show, man, we about to get ready to shut it down. Is it any more on that article that you want to get into, Bungad, before we get ready to get out of here?
Come on, just this last part, if I could.
Go ahead, priest.
It says abortion is not offered at the Indian Health Service, or IHS for short, and having Planned Parenthood clinics is essential to the health and well-being of sexual assault victims. It's a breach of trust, responsibility, and body sovereignty that goes back to colonization.
Oh, man, that is so goddamn wicked, man. Out of all the things that you can build on the goddamn reservations, out of all the things that you can build in the ghettos, out of all the things you can build in the barrios, you choose a Planned Parenthood clinic that's essential. Oh, man. Listen, man. If I don't even know how to address this at this point, man.
Salaki, I got you, Adawan.
This is the kind of thing that makes you want to just put your hands on the devil right here. Just slap him. Just like whoever wrote this article right here, this makes you just want to slap him, man. I'm in no way condoning violence. I'm not saying I would do it. I'm just saying it makes me want to. You understand? Like, How would you even let some filth like that fly out of your mouth? Listen, they really need this. I know you could use a hospital, but this Planned Parenthood clinic is way better. Right. I know you could use a grocery store, but this Planned Parenthood is way better. I know you could use a facility that can, help bring in jobs and bring revenue and all type of economic stability to this reservation, but this Planned Parenthood would be way better.
Right. It's a lot. If I go ahead.
It's like I don't mean to cut you off, Kwam. I just want to say this real quick. Like just like Officer of 5,000 Isaiah Arya was bringing out. Like how is it that Planned Parenthood is essential to sexual assault victims, or survivors, I should say? Like Planned Parenthood, they don't they don't give any kind of programs to help sisters, like bounce back or recuperate or to heal from that trauma it is that they have faced.
Right.
They simply just murder whatever child it is, you want to get rid of. But rapes don't always result in a woman being pregnant. Like that's what is it, like 1% or less than 1% of abortions are due to rape?
Right.
So like what's actually being done to help these sisters? Like there's no program set up. There's no circles it is they can sit in to talk about their experience and learn how to heal from it. Like the only thing that is truly essential to the reservations is the ISUPK, because we help sisters heal from that trauma it is that they have experienced, that they have survived.
And if I could, real quick, I didn't mean to cut you off, but not only just heal, but we're going to protect. Planned Parenthood ain't protecting nothing. Planned Parenthood ain't going to give up their lives. Planned Parenthood ain't going to fight the fight. Planned Parenthood ain't going to say, yeah, oh, you can get to her if you go through me. You understand? They're not going to do none of that. Planned Parenthood is just going to keep doing what they're doing, and that's killing babies. That's all I have to say, Priest. A lot.
Right. It come with con. You know what I'm saying? And to say that, like, to prevent abortions is, similar to what they did during colonization, that's just such an idiotic thing to say. Like the, U.S. cavalry, they didn't stop sisters from committing abortions when they were trying to move them to the reservations or when they were burning down their villages. You understand? Like our oppressor, he would literally cut the baby out of their wombs. If a sister was giving birth while on the Trail of Tears, they would smash their heads under their boot heels. You understand? Smash them against rocks. But yet, that's the same as abortion. It's the same damn thing. But yet we want to make it seem like, anything that has to do with the sister not being a whore or murdering her child or anything like that, all of a sudden it's the same as colonization. You know what I'm saying? It's the same as the boarding schools or something like that, when it's nowhere near the same. Like really, you're really helping out our oppressor when you go out and commit abortions. That's exactly what he wants. That's why he would murder our babies.
Right. And if I could, the people that's fighting for abortions is the oppressor. He's the one the oppressor woman is the one that wants to get abortions. The person that's stopping abortions from happening is the oppressor man. He's like, no, you got to stop getting abortions, white woman. We need our kids. And then somehow, some way, us Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians get caught in the crossfire. And then they don't even use a legitimate argument for us. They use rape. Not to say that rape's not a legitimate argument, but they're trying to play the sympathetic card to get you to vote for it.
Right.
That's all they're trying to do. This is a war tactic 1-on-1. Play to their emotions, make them feel emotionally involved, make them put up the most heinous situation that you could think of so they will vote in our favor. That's all this is, man. The oppressor is truly the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of, man. Because this ain't nothing but an old school war tactic to put us in the worst possible situation that you possibly can to get us to vote for the way that they want to vote. This is just like Biden saying, if you're not black if you don't vote for me. This is exactly what this is. You're not black if you don't vote for me. You're not a human if you don't vote for abortions. Because, like, you have to have, if you're raped, why would you want to keep that rapist baby? Like, true enough, we could be setting up some way to protect your sisters and maybe instituting a police force or something like that to make sure, make some type of government building or something that's way more beneficial than killing babies. Like, figure out a way to protect the women, but you don't. You didn't figure out a way to protect the women. You figured out a way to kill the goddamn babies. And then you put them on the goddamn reservations. You want to put a Planned Parenthood on the reservations. Like, my thing is this: why aren't there's no Planned Parenthood in any prominent, dominant white neighborhood? Why won't you see that? Because it's a tactic of war. When white people want abortions, they got to go to the hood.
Right.
You, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian woman, you want an abortion, you just got to go right down the goddamn street. Think about that, man. That's all I got.
So I think Quatazar, did you have something you wanted to say?
Oh no, la
But that's it. On that article, do the timeout one.
All right, Most High Christ, man. Before we get to shut this thing down, man, does anybody got anything they want us to bring out on the Moment of Truth podcast, episode 1?
Kind of kind, sir.
Oh, sorry.
I just want to say, man, stay tuned in, man. Because we're going to keep bringing out that the oppressors, the devil the Bible speaks of, man. Ain't nobody speaking up on these goddamn war tactics that have been committed towards blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, but the ISUPK, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand, they're at war against you. They're at war at your child. They're at war every goddamn day, man. They wake up, how can I destroy blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man? Come on, let us deal wisely with the Lord's chosen people, man. You understand? We are at war, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. And that's when you find that out, man, you're gonna finally get a taste of life, man. You're gonna finally get a taste of what it means to truly live, man. You understand?
Yeah, I'm right. Anybody else got anything else they want to bring out before we shut this thing down?
I don't want.
Most High Christ, man. And with that being said, man, this is a Moment of Truth podcast, episode 1. Make sure you stay tuned in, locked in, like, subscribe, and share this, man. You come across this video, pay attention to it, man. You got anything that you want to bring out, reach out to the mighty man that you see on the screen because they're in your city and they will bring any stories that you got for us personal or whatever. Bring it to these men and we'll bring it out on this show, man. That's what we're here for. That's what we're going to do. We're here to do the work of the Lord and the work for the people, man. Because somebody got to be the voice.
Right.
Somebody has to be, man. And with that being said,
Like
Shalom.
y'all want.
Go ahead, mighty man.
I was just gonna say, I had sent you a video to your messenger. Could you possibly play it at the end, Bubba Kushar?
I need you to send it to. I don't think I'm gonna be because I don't have my messenger pulled up on this one.
Come.
But I will play it next week, or I might just play it on Facebook just for GP once I get offline. But with that being said, Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
Yeah, about